Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation, with some very interesting and exciting news utilizing the latest technology and discovery with new materials and nanotechnology. This comes to us from mining.com, and a kind member of the community sent this along to me. This is an article that talks about how gold and graphene now used in biosensors to detect diseases. And, this is quite a story because it talks about, that technology, which essentially is a new material that could threaten gold and silver. But I think with this particular story, we're going to find that gold is really complements the new material, and how this new material, carbon-based graphene, really, no matter how the atoms are laid out, it does not replace gold and some of the many things that it can be used for. And I believe the same thing with silver. There's a lot of things that silver can do, and I believe there's probably ways that they can probably arrange those molecules in both silver and gold to be effective and be utilized with technologies like graphene and other nanotechnology. It's really exciting what a lot is being discovered, and this is just another example, and this is something quite fascinating indeed in the medical field. Graphene and gold are now being used in ultra-sensitive biosensors to detect diseases at the molecular level with near-perfect efficiency. In a paper published in the journal Nature Nanotechnology, scientists with the University of Minnesota explained how they developed ultra-sensitive biosensors capable of probing protein structures and therefore able to detect disorders related to protein misfolding. Such disorders range from Alzheimer's disease in humans to chronic wasting disease and mad cow disease in animals. In order to detect and treat many diseases, we need to detect protein molecules at very small amounts and understand their structures, said Sang Hyung Oh, leading research on the study in a media statement. Currently, there are many technical challenges with that process. We hope that our device using graphene and a unique manufacturing process will provide the fundamental research that can help overcome those challenges. O explained that graphene, a high-quality form of graphite that evolves into a material made of a single layer of carbon atoms, has already been used in biosensors. The problem has been that its a remarkable single atom thickness does not interact efficiently with light when shined through it. Light absorption and conversion to local electric fields are essential for detecting small amounts of molecules when diagnosing diseases. According to the scientist, previous research utilizing similar graphene nanostructures has only demonstrated a light absorption rate of less than 10%. In their new study, however, UMN researchers combined graphene with nano-sized metal ribbons of gold. Using sticky tape and high-tech nanofabrication technique called template stripping, they were able to create an ultra-flat base layer surface for the graphene. They then used the energy of light to generate a sloshing motion of electrons or plasmons in the graphene. By shining light on the single atom thick graphene layer device, they were able to create a plasmon wave with unprecedented efficiency at a near perfect 94% light absorption into the tidal waves of electric field. Compare that to the 10% mentioned earlier. When they inserted protein molecules between the graphene and metal ribbons, they were able to harness enough energy to view single layers of protein molecules, the university's press release reads. According to O, he and his team were surprised by the rate of light absorption, which matched almost perfectly their computer simulations. The scientists are hoping that this technique will greatly improve different devices used to detect disorders related to protein misfolding. So very fascinating indeed article here, and to me this is important on several different fronts here. But again, to sum up, this is saying that the gold and graphene infused biosensors can detect the imbalance that causes behind Alzheimer's disease, chronic wasting disease, and mad cow disease. And so that is really intriguing indeed. And if you think about it, they're using gold now. And the reason why they're using gold, I believe, in this particular case is because it is so malleable. You can hammer it out in sheets so very thin, and that it can be used in this way. Now, silver is malleable as well, but not nearly as malleable as gold in that regard. And so to be able to hammer it out in sheets and not lose any of the properties of it is quite fascinating. But I can still see silver being used because of its massive reflectivity. It is the most reflective of all the metals out there. If they can find a way to use a larger version of this for some applications with regards to silver, perhaps they could use the graphene and silver for solar applications. So there's a way to combine these technologies. I think that's a promising field to where you can see even further applications for silver and gold in these areas. Now, the other aspect about this that I think is quite fascinating is that the fact that they have to go and use gold because of the lack of the properties associated with graphene. That will never change. It'll never be as reflective as gold, no matter what they do. And so my feeling is that these precious metals that we hold and that we maybe feel threatened by as far as their demand in the biomedical field or in technology, by materials like graphene and others, I think this just goes to show you that really in the end, nothing can really fully replace these metals. And as expensive as they may get, it's going to have to be super, super expensive for them to even really research enough to try to replace them. Because I believe that even gold and silver, there's enough of it out there that it's worth utilizing and for these type of applications. And it just gives us all the more confidence that we're doing the right thing and accumulating these metals, not just because they're money, gold and silver, but also because of their properties as a commodity. They're being utilized more, silver especially, which begs the question, well, why is it so low in price, especially considering how the uses have really just picked up, and the variety of uses has picked up over the last 10 years even. And, well, because the mines have been pretty efficient, and they're producing a lot more of it, especially silver as a byproduct of other metals. Gold is mainly mined as a primary source. Silver is a little different animal in that regard. But again, as I posted earlier, there's only so much. And if the economy turns down a little bit, or there's less demand, for these other elements, there's going to be less silver mining as a result. But nonetheless, there it is. It's quite fascinating to see what's going on in the world of technology. And thanks again to the person who sent this along to me. They didn't leave their YouTube name, so I didn't want to protect their privacy. But it's just really a neat thing. And I think this kind of, to me, it's exciting to hear about how gold can be used in this manner. I posted a video maybe over a year ago about how gold could possibly be used to attach and to be heat up to kill cancer cells. The nanotechnology and what's going on in that arena is quite exciting indeed. And so if any of you hear of anything, of any news, feel free to send me an email with it at salivatemetal@gmail.com. I'll be glad to post a video about it. But I think this kind of stuff is quite fascinating with precious metals, gold and silver. Even some of the other metals like platinum and palladium have really specialized uses in these areas. Even copper. Copper has medicinal uses as well. And it's all fascinating indeed. It shows that gold and silver are rare enough that, any kind of demand for this type of use will certainly have an effect on the price. Even given some recognized manipulation that's going on in the markets. But I believe the natural market forces will rule the day when it comes to this type of thing. But there it is, gold and graphene working together. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude, y'all, for watching, and encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.